All right, folks, we are back. We are back here for Power Hour. Sorry, not Power Hour. We just did that. And not so much power in the hour, but we are here for the earnings report. We are going to be talking about some fun names. I'm still pulling up my charts here. So bear with me as we get ready for Coin. Coin is going to be at 410. We have ANET Arista in 5 minutes. So we have Coin, middle center. We're keeping track of our indices on the left here, at least until we run out of room. Sometimes we have a lot of earnings. We have a decent amount today, but the most important, I think, are going to be Coin. Definitely pretty decent market implications there. We're going to go through the implications as we talk about the results. ANET, bottom center here. We are going to be talking. We're going to be talking some pins and some AMAT. AMAT's the other one I really want to keep an eye on. Big implications for the semiconductor space there. So in 4 minutes, AMAT looks like it'll be up first along with, AMAT's release just came out. Never mind. All right. So AMAT, I'm going to be pulling numbers in just a second, but a strong move out of the gate here. Strong move out of the gate. I'm going to pull up AMAT. Got to look to the right. Remember, guys, we're going to pull up an hourly there. It just swept the previous highs from overnight there. So cleared out liquidity there. Now we want to see if it can hold the previous morning high so far. Hourly chart down here, we can see we dropped down zone here, trading on down and pushing hard up, sweeping this liquidity. Now we're playing footsies with push up, looking strong to me. Watch for sellers at 350. If we can breach above that, then I think we might have a little bit of room. So far, we are up 5%. Test of 50, which we just got, that is putting us at, we got the test of 50. That is a 6.5% move. If we can break above that, measured move from this after hours push would be roughly quite substantial. Roughly, maybe we look to 375-ish. So I'm going to get some numbers for you here. Hey, there's my man. How you doing, Josh?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Living the dream as much as you can on a very rough day in the markets. It's not been a fun one, but we do have AMAT rocking and rolling here, pushing up on through that 350 handle with conviction so far. If it retests that and holds, I'm thinking 370 or 380, but I need to go level hunting on this. How are you feeling about our batch of earnings here today?
Yeah, we got some good ones, I think, in my opinion. It's wow. I mean, when I say some good ones, we could have some AMAT's making a bigger move than I figured it would, to be honest, and then some other fun ones to take a look at. You know, we got Budweiser, which I'm sure won't move too much, but it's fun to look at.
Yeah.
Airbnb's today as well, and then what else we have that I saw there? Of course, I use Entergy, so Entergy Corp reports that a coin would be another one to keep your eye on.
Yeah, coin for sure.
But Entergy was early on this morning, but coin will be fun this afternoon, so coin will be fun. And then Bud was earlier on this morning. I'm just kind of looking at the list here. But in the afternoon, AMAT, Airbnb, and Coin would be the three that I have my eyes on.
Yeah, absolutely. So for Coin, what would you kind of say, how would you frame that in terms of market implications? Is that going to be like a good kind of bellwether for the retail investor, for the crypto market, or for the consumer as a whole? How would you kind of look at that?
I do, honestly. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm intrigued on watching Coin's earnings today to see as well. I mean, we saw with MSTR with that move back on up, it was a pretty good substantial pop. And of course, we saw Bitcoin move back up with it. So we'll see the same thing here with Coin today. Does it move around for these retail traders? I'm not a big crypto guy. I know a lot of people, of course, into the investing world, there's a lot of way to divvy out your money into different ways to invest. I just haven't gotten really big into crypto. But it's huge, and I think it's going to stick around forever. And again, this huge pullback that we're seeing, which is due a little overinflation there for Bitcoin. We just see those big pops, pullbacks. You know, Bitcoin's going to be around for a while. So yeah, it's
I
don't trade it though.
I'm with you. And okay, so ANET is going to come out in any minute. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for those results. I'm also trying to find some expected moves for some of these names here. But I think ANET is going to be interesting here because, again, we're just trying to put in any floor on software, right? We're just trying to investors are like, give me a sign, give me anything, God, please. And so far, first move up here, I'm going to look for numbers. If you can keep an eye on that chart real quick, and let's see what we can find. Oh my God, I have so many windows. Whoops. Window malfunction. There we go. Okay, so ANET, I'm still not seeing it on mine, but by the way, if we didn't mention the AMAT numbers there, we have a reported. What is that? Shoot, I'm sorry. This window's too small. I will get you numbers in just a second, guys. Josh, can you tell I'm a little flustered today? Done a
You're
lot of
good.
position
It's all
managing. Coin, push it
You're
on
on.
down. Those numbers just came out. We'll get those for you momentarily. Look for buyers to step in. I mean, this has some room down. We were talking about the 130 handle, but I was saying maybe that 125. So somewhere in that zone, I'll mark this out. That's where I would be curious to see if we can hold the line, but definitely not a good first move there. ANET, red to flat here. So a little shake and bake, a little rock'em sock'em action here as the Bulls and the Bears duke it out, trying to figure out who will end up on top here. But widespread out the window. I'm going to start hunting for some actual numbers here. If you can man the ship here for just one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, brother. Yeah. So I got the earnings on Arista there. So I mean, it's post Q4 2.488 bill versus a fact set of 2.38. So it looks like they beat here is what it's saying here by 0.82. So pretty good there for Arista, but not big movement so far. Really not seeing much at all. A little movement down and back up now that I zoom back in here. So we did beat. Going over to Coin, let's take a look at the Coinbase. What are we doing here? Yeah, nothing so far. So I have no numbers on Coin. I do have the numbers though here on Arista. See, Arista expect Q1 revenue around 2.6 bill. They post Q4 adjusted again with that they beat it by 0.82. So pretty good, pretty
Nice.
good, pretty.
Not too shabby. Meanwhile, just some smaller names that have reported, probably not massive implications on the market, but worth noting. Pins getting taken to the doghouse, down from the 1870 handle, trading currently at 16, not showing any signs of relief yet. So stay away, in my opinion. High time frame, that one's kind of a mess too. So,
Yeah.
this is again, we're seeing the wheat being separated from the chaff. A lot of money being taken out of anything that doesn't seem really important to the bullish narrative going forward. Like we need foundries, we need chips. Can't mess with AMAT. Hands off AMAT for now is what the market is saying. Software pins, whatever the heck Pinterest even is, I don't know if we need it. So Coin getting a little shake and bake, a wick up here. I'm wondering if algos digested those first numbers and started realizing, hey, maybe this actually could be along. So take a look at what's happening. We're trying to break the base that we had formed in the cash session after that big washout we had from the 150 handle this morning. Still in the shake and bake. I'm not looking to long. I'm not looking to short. Still just eating its way down there. So it's hard with these ones, when there's a lot of overhead pressure, like a name like Coin, even good earnings can kind of get bopped here, and it's tough. ANET looking a little bit stronger here on the hourly, starting to get a push up to this 140, finding price acceptance into that level. So we're going to keep an eye on that. The big level for breakout for me is the price we saw a few days ago at 147. And they're taking the air out of Coin there again a little bit. We'll see if they can make a new low and continue down to our zone or not. All right.
Yeah, I like that 147. Kind of looking at that too. Yeah, and then over that, watch for that pop up into one. I'd say 152.50. The highs there back in January. Would see what we'd see after that next. So pretty good move there from ANET. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, the little kind of maintained right out of the gate. Really didn't do much, and now starting to get a little bit more of that green push. Same thing there with Coin here, starting to get a little bit more of that reversal side. It's almost like the opposite when I pull those down, I like to zoom in with the magnifying glasses. Like if I go to a 1 minute time frame. They look identical, but they're just on the opposite sides of the chart. Where
that's funny.
Net's up and Coin's down, but they're just kind of doing that, not really. But yeah, so we got a little bit. AMAT, the biggest one. Here goes ANET. So there's a net.
A net.
We have it in net. Yeah, right. We have it in net, which can trade the pull.
She is a keeper. I just, as always, so much thanks to all of our support staff. You guys are what makes this such a smooth operation compared to a lot of other firms that, in my experience, that I've dealt with. So it's really nice having people always on your team there. Meanwhile, Coin just looking anemic here, looking like it is going to puke pretty darn soon here. ANET very strong. And by the way, Rivian reporting as well. Seems like they had a double beat here. I'll pull exact numbers in just a moment, but pretty good results so far, sweeping the high from a few days ago. And this is a daily chart, which might be ready to make a turnaround because they got beat bad after pushing really nicely earlier this year for us. So, up over 11%. And after hours, it looks like, okay, I got numbers here for top line performance. We have Revenue 1.29 billion versus a 1.26 billion estimate. Q4 production was looking like just under 11,000 vehicles. Q4 deliveries just under 10,000 vehicles. That's from the Illinois factory. So in terms of profitability, looking like adjusted EPS is sitting at minus $0.54 versus minus 0.68 estimate. Outlook, we're looking for 62K to 67K deliveries. That's versus the 64K estimate. Adjusted EBITDA is looking like minus 2.1 billion to minus 1.8 billion estimate. So, I'm sorry, the range was 2.1 to 1.8 and the estimate was 1.8. So not bad there. CapEx 2 billion versus 1.92 billion estimate. So beats across the board. They're getting rewarded. On the high time frame chart here on the daily, we could be putting in a higher low back into previous bases with this high volume. And just remember, when you have this kind of volume by multipolar volume node, big blob up here, big blob down here, if we find traction at the bottom blob, we can shoot up to that top. So keep an eye on that. I'm getting interested. I'm getting the Rivian bug again. You ever trade this one?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's a fun one, dude. It loves just strong trends within a much larger range, and then just puking once it hits the target. Like,
I've looked at it before, of course, with Teslas of the, your EV vehicles, when that EV was a 21, 22, when EVs really, those plays started taking off a lot. Was it somewhere in that 21, 22, 23 area? And I've seen it in the past, but yeah, I just never really day traded it. It's got to be, again, there's just so much for me in small cap sector already to look at, and then you add in, when I do look at large caps, on top of the fact, and usually I'll find one sexy large cap that I like, whatever it is for the day: Google, Amazon, Apple, AMD, Tesla, whatever. That's the thing. I wish there were, like, and I've said this in the past, I wish there were like 50 of me. I could just plug me, and they're just looking at like, if I could get about 30 of me in here, and it was just like we're funny with what's his, Michael Noss brought up the movie earlier. We're talking about the boiler room, but it's just like, 50 of me just in the boiler room.
Oh God, buy, sell. I've got an amazing opportunity for you. You will not. He bought. Oh man, that's a great movie. That's such a slept-on trading movie. Like, it's always okay. Is the best trading movie The Big Short, or is it Margin Call? It's Margin Call, by the way. But a strong contender that nobody talks about is Boiler Room, and that's, if you haven't seen that one, check that out. And one more for you. I don't know if you've seen this one, Josh, but Barbarians at the Gate. That's an oldie. That one's a lot of fun.
I haven't seen that one, actually. I haven't seen that one. I may have to look into that one.
It's almost like you watch old movies from like the 70s and 80s, and they almost feel like, maybe I'm showing I don't know if it's my youth or my age, but I don't know. It's like whimsical almost. It's like from a lighter time almost. So I don't know. It was good vibes. I liked that one. That was fun. And there's one I'm missing. What's the one with Michael Douglas? Is that just literally called Wall Street?
Yes.
That one's great too.
Yep. And they have the second one too, where Shia LaBeouf's in it, which me and Avery, or my wife, she went to one. And that came out, I'd say like 10, 12 years. I don't know how long ago, but it came out around 2010, 12, 11, 2008, something like that. And there's, Wall Street's good. And then the second one, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, they're good for sure.
Yeah. It's always fun. Yeah. Oliver Stone. I'm starting to think maybe he isn't the biggest fan of capitalism on the rewatches. But,
right. Yes, exactly.
But still, it's really, it's great. I think it's such a testament that somebody like that could make a movie about capitalism and still have it be such an entertaining and enjoying just whirlwind there.
Yeah.
Sorry. I forgot. This is earnings season. What else? Am I missing one? Did we talk about Toast? I think that one might have jumped my brain there. So this one is in an ugly downtrend here as well, just with the rest of the sector. This thing, I think, Josh, would it be fair to say this thing is toast?
What's that? Oh yeah, yes. Or you go tossed. I guess you go, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like it. But
tossed is good too. They tossed it all right. So it is trading down at the 24, 23. Oh man. And it just seems like it wants to keep dropping. I'll pull up a monthly for the bulls, see if we can find some resting support somewhere for the bulls. This one, I remember when this was the darling of the software space. A couple weeks there, a couple months there. Now we are way back into the top of this base. So we had this long-term stage one base, as we'd call it. So a stage one base, when it breaks, this area right here, let me zoom in, sorry. The consolidation at the top neckline of the W, this consolidation right here, we call this a sign of strength, the SOS in Wyckoff accumulation schematics. And so essentially this is where you would be loading the boat on a name like this. Then it rips. So this is accumulation, stage 1. Then we have the ripping. That is acceleration, or expansion is the right term. Expansion, that's stage 2. Then you have distribution, stage 3, when it's also in consolidation, just like down here, but instead of accumulation, institutions are distributing up here. They are getting rid of inventory. And now we got to see, well, were they selling because it's trash, or were they selling because it was too expensive for what it was? And
Right.
that's where we kind of find it down in this zone, in this golden pocket, in this retrace. So all hope not lost for the long-term investors. Oh, speaking of all hope not lost, look at coin taking a U-turn, coming back
Yes,
in
it's
the
fine.
debt.
Yeah.
You love to see that on earnings. That's got to be a little injection of hope for the coin bulls. I wonder what it is reacting to. So I'm going to pull back to a 4-hour chart and see if we can find that node. Oh, well, it's not too. I thought we were way further down already. It's just it's playing footsies with this previous low. It looks like.
Yes. Little boot heels, I call it. But yes. Kind of a little double bottom. I see exactly what you're
Oh,
seeing there.
yeah, boot heels, the little wicked witches just out from
Yeah. Yes, you know what kind of boot heels I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. Yes, those weird, ugly boots. Those ones you're going like, man, that's got to hurt her foot.
Yeah,
Right?
the ones where you're like, well, that was a choice. Yeah.
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 Well, that was a
I love that for you. One of those. AMAT. I love this for you, AMAT. Just holding above the 350. That's really constructive. You just love to see a name pump on earnings and then just hold. So the volume came in, the buyers came in, and they're not selling. They're saying,
Yeah.
why would I sell for a 5% move if we just got the numbers I need to think we're going 10, 20, 30%? Always something to consider there. They're buying that coin dip. Yes, sir, they are, talk.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, talk's got some good banter going on in here. Sticking with the riches and in race. Are you in race in the riches? I'm not in race. I wish I was.
Ingrid, how you doing? Austin Chick Axe, Smoked Tuna, Glass Half Full, Glatheus. All you guys in chat tech. Yeah, how you doing?
You see the whole gang in our comments? I'm not seeing them. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you. I swear. Why aren't you coming through? They all blocked me. That's probably what happened. That's what usually happens. Wow. Yeah, I talk great call on race as usual, dude. You're just crushing it. I should pay a little closer attention. But man, it's just when you're giving me 10 bangers every time we talk, some fall through the cracks. This race is one of them. So really nice look here. I'm gonna get full screen so we can take a better gander at what we're seeing. So it was looking rough there. We were trying to figure out if Lambos are dead or Ferraris are dead. But I don't think rich people are hurting too bad. When the economy starts hurting the rich people, maybe something will happen about it. So until then, I guess we just long race on every dip. The amazing race. So yeah, it didn't get back to the 300 handle. Didn't even transact the 325 before just absolutely rip roaring. Was this earnings? It could have been earnings. That's my job. I should know.
No, race today. I didn't see
okay. And they're in Josh's second job set. Yeah, Josh is like, I'm not talking any mess about race because when I'm done trading, I know what I'm doing. You're trying to get that F1 gig.
Yeah, well, I have my favorite one. I like them all, but I mean, just those driving simulator games are super fun for sure. But yeah, I Gran Turismo 7 was fun. I mean, I've got like a little steering wheel like rig set up. Next house, I want to go like a full setup where it's because I'll have plenty of room to have it. But I have 2 steering wheels. I have an Alcantara Ferrari steering wheel. Then I've just got the regular G-Tech, but it's a nice G-Tech. But they both have that force feedback. Of course, comes with the pedals. I'm not doing the gearbox yet, and going into the first to second to third gear. I'll wait till I have actually a seat to sit in. Right now, I have it on a stand. So my steering wheel has a rig that it goes on, and so do the pedals. But all I do is I pull in this seat because it kind of looks like a sweet racing seat.
Totally.
And so what I do is I pull this in and lock it down so it's nice and locked on the floor. And yeah, I just get to driving, man. But the next house, they have those rigs that you can literally get into and sit in, and then I'm gonna have it's gonna be cool at the next house. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna have to make the flight from Cali to come have some fun and race.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Sorry to interrupt our racing podcast with some boring stock news, but we do have ANET just cooking that 150 level mentioned a little bit ago, and that is a beautiful beautiful break there if we can get over that 153. So I mean, this has got to be. Let's see how IGF feel, or IGF IGV. Yeah, IGV. How do they feel about this? Oh, they got a little pep in their step, trying their best to hold this low. We'll see. We'll see. They got some work cut out for them. I gotta admit, I'm not convinced the bottom is in. I remain quite skeptical. That being said, I do like the coin. I do like the coin action. Josh, how willing are you to get involved with a name that's been beat this bad? Do you need a real? Do you need a bigger base? Do you need to? Do you just
Okay.
need your level to transact, and you see that short term scalp? Do you just stay away until it's giving you the right signs? How do you approach a chart that looks this mangled?
Um, yeah, I mean, or I stay away from it. That's what I
It's
usually
usually
typically. Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Usually that, or I stay away from it because that's what I always tell traders in chat. Try to find the chart that's yelling at you,
Yes.
which one looks the best, and like I always say, you can't help but again, if you are attracted to people, maybe you're not attracted to anyone in the world. But again, when you're out in public, you're a single, even if you're not, the guys you can't, they're always like, can't be looking at the hot girls when you see them. Wife will be like, hey, what you looking at? I'm
Yeah,
like, hey,
we're
come on,
all
she's pretty. But you can't help when you see, like, if I'm a guy, I can't help when I see a pretty girl or like an actress that I haven't seen before. Like what's her face? Oh my gosh, Ana de Armas. I don't know if you know who Ana de Armas is, and she's right. She's gorgeous. First time I saw her in a movie, like however long ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, who is this beautiful woman? You can't help but see, you're right. You can't help that. That's how I want to see in the stock market. So I'm just flipping through the tickers, flipping through the channel, so to speak, and going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, whoa, hello, lady. And then
Yeah,
I
I
get the
love
trade.
that, and that's really what it's about. I always say, in my server, I say that I'm looking for something that sparks joy. So I'll be going through, 50 charts, just like how the deal is. It's almost not autopilot, but it's like a Zen
Right,
ritual for us at this point, where it's like it when you see it, and you're just like it's like kind of like we're in the gold mining days, and we got our pans out. We just got a bunch of dirt, and we're just sifting. We're just hanging out sifting. And then we see, ooh, shiny. I like that. Let's look at that. That goes in the keeper pile. Then you build a nice pile of shiny rocks, and then you got some nice stuff to look at when the market's like this. Some stuff that's holding up and showing you that, hey, it's not all that bad. There's always a bull market somewhere. I think some wise philosopher said that once on CNBC. So just look for the pockets of strength, and we are seeing some. I mean, commodities a little bit sketchy in the past couple of days, but you know what? Big picture, I think that the structure's still there. I think that there's going to be that rotation, and we're seeing that rotation in the market as a whole. But I think we're just going to continue to see more of that, and it's not going to be easy to trade. I will say, I think that this is a good time to like. I've been saying it's lock in time, right? Like focus on the best of the best. Don't get caught up in things that aren't working just because you want them to work. Like me, I wanted space to work so bad. I like rockets. I'm kind of a 5-year-old Josh. I like rocket ships. I like cool flying stuff. I like race cars. Um, sometimes you get a little bit too married to a theme, and yeah, ASTS, it just was not acting right, and I didn't listen, and I held a little bit. So I did the Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen, great trader. Don't hate me, GameStop apes. His whole thing is, hey, if a trade's working, I add. If a trade's not working, but I understand what's going on, then I'm getting a better price. I add. If a trade's not working, but I don't understand what's going on, well, then I have to size down. I can't completely bail on my thesis unless it's completely changed, but then I know what's going on, right? Then I'm like, oh, it's bad. I can't be in this. If it's market's moving against me and I don't understand it, I size down. I protect myself. And then when I start being in tune with the market, and I put that risk back on. But it's that ebb and flow, the give and take. And you gotta bob and weave with the market, or it'll just rip you. So for example, ASTS here, I was playing for this flag to break out, this big range that we were in like this. And I kept seeing, oh man, we're like undercutting, and they're offering it under the 100 level. But that was kind of where I thought the support was. And so I was buying these dips, and I was trimming, but not selling completely on these rips. And so like this didn't scare me too bad when we pumped here and then dropped. I sold some at the previous high, 124, and then I bought some. I don't know, probably I think here, yeah. around 107 or so. And I'm thinking I'm trading around a range and I'm being responsible, but I'm kind of just ignoring what I'm seeing, which is that we just tried to consolidate at the top of this range, tried to break out and got smashed. So like that was kind of for me, like it was a little bit of an ego thing where it's like, I want this to work. I like it. I've been trading it well the past couple days. I want to keep the ball rolling. And so then I got stuck holding the bag in here and I had to say, hey, well, I don't really get it, but the stock's going against me. So I have to size down. And then luckily that kept me out of the really brutal drawdown that we're kind of currently seeing with the offering after hours there yesterday. So that's kind of what I think was happening. The market was signaling participants, probably had hints or reasons to believe that there was something in the pipeline, some kind of offering, some reason to be scared, and they were distributing. And I felt like uneasy about it, and I should have listened to that. So I love that you're talking about find one that's screaming to you, because a lot of them are just noisy, but it's not the right kind of noise that we're looking for, I guess. So I don't know. Always something to look for in these postmortems. Always something we can do better.
Yeah, I mean, it's just but just back to that because I get that every day small cap. I say every day, but there's a lot of time over the years where there'll be trades or tickers out there that they're not that pretty, and someone will come over and ask about them and say, "Hey, Josh, hey, what about this ticker?" What I'm like, what do we know? Run away from that. There's just nothing there. That's not it's not screaming at you, not yelling. What chart is it building for you to trade? And that's me when I see that. What a small cap, large cap, mid cap, doesn't matter. Once you're yelling at me, then I come and I'm paying attention to it.
Absolutely. T-Mobile did T-Mobile have earnings? It's just T, right?
I think it's just T. Yeah,
It's just T. Man, this one's screaming. I mentioned this one in Discord. What was it? 2 weeks ago? How's it doing? Actually, I haven't checked because it's in the boring port. Oh, baby. Yeah, we like that. So why I was liking this one, I was seeing risk off names kind of catching bids. This one wasn't yet, but it was trading back into this gap. I could be cool and say I bottom ticked in the gap. No, I didn't. I waited till the end of the week and I said, oh, I was flipping through stuff on the Friday and going, oh man, this is breaking this range. This is a little double bottom range break, and oh, look where it filled. This seems to me that the path of least resistance is back on upwards and out in the high time frame. Oh, TMUS is T-Mobile. What am I looking at? What is T? What
AT&T. That's AT&T.
Okay. I was like, did I just buy like some dog food store and it's for whatever reason the thesis is working, even though I have no idea what that's so funny. Okay, TMUS. Thank you. These are boring. These are boomer stocks. Let's be real. Just because they're not moving like it right now doesn't mean that I should be expected to know this. But this is a beautiful chart. Look at this. This is wild. Where's my downtrend line? I'm losing my mind. There we go. This chart's got me feeling some type of way. I mean, that's a big old downtrend line. We call this a doom loop line. It's just in a doom loop until it can break over this thing. And then boom. Looks like a long-term bottom to me. So what are the implications for a market that is potentially distributing, having big aggressive sell candles at the top of the current range, which has been ranging at for months, by the way? So you have that in the indices, and then you have charts like this. I'll give you another one. Charts like this in risk-off sectors like consumer staples. This is Kraft Heinz here. You want to long some catch-up with me, Josh? Hold hands and long some catch-up?
Let's do it.
It's a romantic date. I just see this looks like it's trying to carve out the bottom and push on through. And I'm seeing this in a lot of these names. What's Campbell's? CGI. I don't trade these. Where's my boring fundamental value traders? Promo, where are you? we have a couple value traders who just crush it, but I swear they're like 25 years old, but I just imagine them as like 70-year-olds, just like in their retirement buying catch-up companies.
Right.
they're just smarter than me. They're just making consistent money on easy trades. Another one. Shout out ChemLife in my server too. Living up to his name, longing the chemical company Dow Industrials, and just absolutely crushing it. He got in somewhere around 24. I followed a little later around 26, and that's just been screaming up to 34. So sometimes boring names can have very unboring moves.
Right.
Always look. That's why I always look for these like sectoral scans, like where's money flowing to from what sector to what sector, or where's the kind of, I'm trying to skate ahead of the puck essentially. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I kind of infer and overlay my own feelings on the data I'm seeing, and then I end up longing something like space into a momentum uh, bloodletting here. So learning experience for sure. Wingstop's getting hit. Not my wing. No, I don't know. I don't know on this, but
Love some Wingstop. I would be a Buffalo Wild Wings, not bad. I go, I think they both had their heyday back. And everyone had that wing craze. It seemed like they're 10, 15 years ago or whatever. And they blew up. But
yeah,
love some wings. We have a great air fryer. So it's, expensive as wings have gotten when you go out to eat anymore. I'm like, me and my wife are like, forget Wingstop. Buffalo Wild Wings honestly make some of the best wings I've had. So we've just been killing it.
no,
She's been killing it. Yeah, the air fryer is money.
It reminds me of I remember when the tariffs hit, and I saw a post that was like, I want 100% tariffs on everything, so my life is so hard that I have to lock in to levels that I've never seen before. And like that's like kind of, it's like kind of a smaller version with inflation. Like I've been locking in the kitchen and cooking things I've never tried before, and that's been fun. So there's still silver linings, I guess, of dining out getting a lot more expensive for sure. Trying to cut back on myself. Um, so Wing, what is going on? It's winging dinging on down here. I don't know. This is rough.
Oh, you know what I thought about would be a good name for a wing place, or if you had like a food truck for wings.
Yeah.
How about this one? Schwings.
Swing. All right. Yeah. And what is that? Is that Wayne's World? We just it's
Wayne's
World
yes.
themed. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd have copyright infringement and we couldn't do that. I don't know if like SNL or whoever would be like, no, you can't have a place called Schwings.
I bet Mike would be super cool with it. But Lauren over there at SNL probably
yes,
something to say.
Exactly. I could get Mike to come out and do like the first promotional. He'd come out, oh yeah, man, I'll come on over. I could just see him, his energy, and get Dana Carvey to come over too. And Michael Lauren's like, nope, no. How much you paying me? Because otherwise, this ain't happening.
Josh, it's funny you're talking about some of the greats there. I was thinking, I was having a conversation recently. We're talking about like stand up and improv. And she's an improv girl, I know, right? But I was just thinking, like, I was like, man, I don't really like improv that much. I'm not like into SNL. Then I was thinking, actually, I used to love watching like reruns of old SNL, like the Farleys, the Sandlers. I mean, there were so many amazing stars, and I don't know. Maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm old, and they're just as amazing nowadays. But it just doesn't do it for me anymore. What? How do you feel? Are you an improv guy? You like the sketches, or you more stand up?
Yeah, I like both. Now I like improv if they're good, but anymore they just don't have the the people on SNL anymore. It just doesn't have that appeal. I can go back, like you were saying, and still watch some of those old ones and love them. Like the Will Ferrell days, to even Jason Sudeikis days, to
the Jimmy Fallon days. On era. For me, that was high school. Like Jason Sudeikis, Kristen Wiig. Like I thought those were bangers, but I had high school brain, so who's to say?
100%. Yeah, no, that was it for me. What was her name that went on to do 30 Rock with Tracy Morgan? Yeah, I mean,
Amy Poehler, both crushing it. Yeah.
He went on and did Parks and Rec. So that was like, to me, the last. Wow, these guys got it still. Because you go from like the 80s into the 90s, and the 90s probably that was one of the best casts ever with like. Like you're talking about with Dana Carvey, and you got Mike Myers, you got of course Sandler, then you got Tim Meadows, and you got Chris Farley, you would go through the ringer, right? That cast was just like crazy good. And then when those started fading off, you're like, man, then you go into the Will Ferrells and the Chris Kattans and then we could just keep going on with, it just was nonstop, where they just kept putting out talent, and that talent then went on to be like a lot of big movie stars or TV stars.
Yeah.
Recently you can just tell, because you go back to looking at that, like how much money from Eddie Murphy to Mike Myers to Adam Sandler to yada 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 to Will Ferrell's of the world have made in money, Kristen Wiig's of the world, and have made money in movies or TV, Amy Poehler's, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
You go at it now, and it was very high consistency that a lot of those people were going to move on eventually and be a good TV or movie star or have a lot of roles. And then nowadays, it's not as much talent there.
Right. And it's so interesting seeing how the day-to-day lives of people, like the kind of workflow and stuff, I feel like it's had a big influence on the types of media people are gravitating to. And now we see a lot of the most influential people, they're podcasters, they're streamers.
Right. Yeah.
Basically us, Josh, I mean,
yeah.
So it's interesting to see that kind of trajectory. I wonder what the implications will be there. Meanwhile, coin finally pushing on up through these pre-market highs. So finally got something to talk about here. I mean, I love just yapping with you, but man,
we can yapper. Yeah. Matt had that huge squeeze just sideways. A net and coin still moving up. And yeah, coin's kind of doing one of those, not a full meta move, but like a meta move where we're down and now we're reversing back up to the green side here. And usually when I see that about a half hour, typically it seems like it'll stay green and hold up to the top side.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep an eye on this pivot level here because it was really cleanly defined here. The pop up and then this multiple wick consolidation here and just this kind of ascending triangle look. I like this look. That's a very strong base. I like this so much more than if like this mid wick was pushed up and this wick was pushed up and we'd have like an ascending, like a rising wedge type look.
Right.
So I really like this flat pivot and that keeps it in play for tomorrow. Often they will bring it back down. They can run it pre-market. Maybe market sells off again in the morning and it comes back down to this pivot and gives us that nice little look there. So you mentioned Annette still cooking. Let her cook. She's trying to go baby. High. And yeah, I mentioned 153, I believe in the 30s handle, 153.30-ish is going to be the level that is going to sweep. Probably there will be some sellers there, potential to squeeze straight through, but more likely some sell pressure there and consolidation around that 53-ish zone. Maybe overshoots to 155, but kind of what I'm looking for there. I'll pull back to the daily, give you guys a little perspective. So see, there's the spread. We can't see the daily candle because this is it's after hours a move, but you can see that spread bouncing around and it is negotiating those top wicks there. And to me, that looks like the seller, the passive seller that's trying to keep a cap on this thing right under this wick zone. Looks like he's getting cooked to me. And then my eye goes, okay, well, where's the next level to cook? Obviously, big one is going to be that wick at all-time highs. Usually there's going to be some intermediary level in between these two where that'll kind of catch and reject a little. So I see this imbalance here and where we started to really just fall off the face of the earth. So this is another area of interest, this little area at 155 to call it 157. So keep an eye on there. I think ANET's moving up on out of this kind of complex base, but a long base here. Long multi-month base should be good for a move up. That being said, I should pull back to the monthly. It's been a while since I really looked at this one.
Yeah, it's definitely, I see those attracted areas up there too, like magnets, as I call them, essentially magnetizing their way up there.
You know that song, Magnets, How Do They Work? You seen that meme?
No, I've not.
Okay, well, I don't know. It's some guy in clown makeup rapping about magnets, and it's kind of the best thing I've ever seen. So definitely check that out. I think it's Insane Clown Posse. Throwback there. Awesome. They were around when I was in high school. Anyway, I don't understand magnets outside of the market, but in the market, Josh, I think you nailed it there. It's just like gravitational pull. And it's like, what is making coin gravitate up like this? Well, we had this acting as a magnet. I'll zoom in for y'all. We had this blob, this white blob of volume down here acting as the magnet, pinning us here while we were consolidating. Then what happened? We said, all right, we're done. We're done consolidating. We're done battling these bears. These bears are wrong. And it's time to go up. There's more of us than you. We win. You lose. You get nothing. And now we're ramping. So what are they drawing to? Probably this magnet up here. So I want to see what it does at that 150 handle. And doesn't that make sense? If you bought the dip, you don't have to be a super technical guy. You can say, hey, I like the company. It's down. Earnings seem fine. I'm buying the dip. Where am I going to sell? Wow, it's working already. Well, let's see. Say I bought here.
It's got the look at a net though. A net's rolling.
Oh,
a net's rolling.
Let's check it on out on a 1 minute. Let's get in there. Woof. Oh, beautiful ramp there. And see, we are just subway surfing it up, these moving averages. If you have a really strong trend like this is what you want to see. Big surge up, break the range. There will be sellers, always sellers. We come back down. We find buyers off of this aggressively rising 9 moving average. It's aggressive though. There's going to be volatility. So it runs too hot. It's going to run a little bit too cold here in terms of the newly with the new fair value that we're currently negotiating here. So came back to the next kind of point of interest, this 21, and on any time frame, this 21 moving average is going to be such a great kind of trend barometer. Okay, we did find a seller here. Where do we find it? Off the 155 handle that we were talking about. The 155, and more importantly, the 153. I think it's the zone over there where the sellers kind of got involved. So in my book, this looks like a 1, 2, 3 push up, and it probably needs to cool off. Doesn't mean it's going to revert the whole thing, maybe, but it looks strong. I would just like to see some sideways action here as we digest and these moving averages curl up on the higher time frames, just like they are on the lower time frames here. But hey, if it can hold the 9, then it's still game on. So we're going to definitely keep watching that bad boy there. In the bottom middle, we have coin ripping and rolling. In the top middle, AMAT's just resting. It'll move when it wants to, but that looks like a beautiful pennant here. Incredibly tight. Hard to fade the semis. I was saying, hey, maybe that's SMH looking a little double toppy. I don't care about being right. Josh, I'm wrong so often anyway. What's one more time? I want to make some money. That's what I'm here to do. So I'm totally fine having a thesis, having it be invalidated, like amazing earnings on AMAT here and looking for continuation. That's not telling me double top. That's telling me we're in a range. We're probably going higher. Not time to short.
DraftKings, I don't know if they are reporting today. I didn't see that. They are seeing a huge pullback though right now. I don't see.
They did report. I didn't think to mention them because we only had so many spaces, but thank you for reminding me. They did slip my mind when I was going through here. So the 25 handle just got plowed through there. I will look for numbers in just a moment, but let's see where we're headed on a daily chart. This is just ugly. And this is one of those charts that every once in a while it starts looking really good and then it just breaks that look. It just says, actually, psych, just kidding. Like double bottom, nice push. And then it's like, well, what are we doing here? Consolidating upwards without making a new high, without even testing this high. And it ended up being that head and shoulders and that it ended up playing out. So now this is spooky because we have the potential kind of actual full play out of the head and shoulders where let's go to a monthly where you're seeing something that I really don't like to see on a chart that I'm bullish on. And that is the breakdown of an amazing looking pattern. Because when patterns break, those reverse moves can be so explosive and violent. So, Josh, I am a cup and handle holic. That's like my favorite pattern for swing trades. So I was, for months and months, expecting this to eventually be a big, complex cup and handle and break out way higher. Everybody and their mother is taking parlays left and right. I figured it's a pretty good place to be. Chart looks good. Seems like a good industry. But you know what? Seems like that was mostly spin and narrative. And the chart is now showing me that I can't have that view anymore. Maybe DraftKings is a much longer term play and it needs to make a higher low, maybe in 2026, 2027, before working its way on upwards and out of this big base. So gotta stick and move with the market. It seems like the market's not liking DraftKings there.
Not at all. Not at all. They said you go make your bets elsewhere, DraftKings. It's not happening here.
Yeah. Oh man. Where are the numbers? Still not seeing them, but I'm a little bit.
For DraftKings?
There they are. Okay. All right. So looks like they met revenue estimate, beat EBITDA estimate by 27%, missed EPS by 41 cents, and I'm sorry, they missed the 41-cent estimate by 5 cents for the reason being tax headwinds. The guide is what's killing them here, though. They missed on the annual revenue guide and annual EBITDA guidance. Revenue guide was a miss by 8.3%, and that EBITDA was a miss by 18.5%. So market is not happy. I'm going to read. This is somebody that is a pretty good follow. Stock market nerd. A little bit of his opinion here. basically trying to provide more context. He is saying that it's not a, you know what, Josh, I'm my dyslexia is getting ahead of me. I will get back to you on the summary of this in just a second. How are you feeling on DraftKings overall? You think there's any money in this business, or is it just a big?
Yeah, but I don't know about investing into it. I think there's money into it if you know how to actually gamble. And I know a lot of people that do DraftKings and they put teams together and they're good at doing that. Of course, you've seen people gambling throughout the years make money. You know, whether it's just on the game itself, you're doing the over under, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I don't know about investing into a company like DraftKings. I don't think that's something, in my opinion, I don't know where my worth is in that. Now, it doesn't mean it's a bad company that you can invest into, but just when I look at it as a whole, there's not a space. It's not the space I want to invest into if I'm going to invest, is my point.
Yeah. And it's interesting because DraftKings was always pitched as a disruptor, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They were a disruptor. Well, who's getting disrupted now? Polymarket and Kalshi are coming in and taking their lunch. And so I think the thesis was that apparently state level volume, like the sportsbook volumes, were looking pretty resilient and strong amid that new, up and coming prediction market competition. But we saw just such increase in prevalence of that, where I mean, you saw Robinhood and Webull. I updated my Webull app, and all of a sudden they're trying to get me to bet on sports. Like, I don't even think it's legal in my state yet. I don't even know how it is, but I guess they have some. It's kind of like Uber, where it's like shoot first, ask questions later. We have a good legal team. We'll figure that out down the road.
Yeah, right.
Regardless, I mean, when Uber did that, it disrupted a lot of other industries because it is disruptive technology. If this betting market stuff, I think it's probably terrible for I don't know. It makes me feel like a conservative. It's like terrible for the moral fabric of our country. I don't know. It's probably not the best thing, but regardless, I think we should be able to do it. And
yeah, I mean,
it's a good thing as long as regulation is in line.
Hey, as long as they're taxing us, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the craziest thing. So many people were doing this in these Cayman Islands registered offshore casinos, where it's like they're definitely not paying taxes on that. So I wonder if, I think very likely the holdouts will eventually capitulate, like California, and it will be legal everywhere. I just don't know if we'll be placing those bets on DraftKings, to be honest. And sorry about the banging here, guys. They're working on the roof there, so I'll try to mute in between talking.
Banging on the roof, yeah. Oh man, that's hilarious. I was like, man, someone's going to town over there. I've been there before, though. I have been there before. Like, really? Now's the time you're going to do it?
Well, it worked out for a while. They were on their lunch break, I'm pretty sure, and they just came back. So luckily, we're almost wrapped up here. I will do my best to minimize that on my side, though. So yeah, DraftKings, I can't get involved. It feels like, so the sharp change was about a month ago, apparently. Warning signs out of New York showed volume growth was starting to turn negative, and the slowdown was pretty aggressive. So it kind of caught the street off guard, it seems, and this earnings report is kind of locking that in, it seems like. So for this guy, Stock Market Nerd on Twitter, I've been following him for, I don't know, maybe 6 months. Pretty good stuff. And I guess he was a bull. I've heard him talking about it a few times, I think. But for him, disappointing deal breaker. And for him, he says it meant more risks to forward estimates and their cheap multiple likely not actually being as cheap as we thought. So that makes sense. And this is the game we're playing with earnings. And it's something that, I'm still learning as well, how these narratives get massaged and kind of played with going into earnings, into these binary prints, and how, it's just it's interesting to see how the money will move, and how you can, looking back in the postmortem and the analysis, kind of see these little tips of the hand, so to speak, that they kind of give us in these consolidations going into a print. When we're like, is it bullish? Is it bearish? Well, often, it can be really good for your studying to wait for it to play out and then go back and just take a look. No need to take the gamble, but good to get the information on what it looks like when a stock is setting up to trick people and look bullish and go bearish, or vice versa. So yeah, a lot of fake outs for earnings, a lot of flip points, pivot points, and stuff that are in play.
Amazon under 200. Oh yeah, slowly getting away. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Amazon. I mean, I'm already long term in this, but it'd be, for traders out there, Amazon getting back to 160, 150 would be great. I don't know if it'll get down there though, but I did tell traders, look for a pullback here. Amazon. A lot of these even the tech companies, just a lot of stocks you're overpriced, overvalued on the move up we've made over the last year and a half, now 2 years really being bullish on a lot of these tickers. So we're due for some sort of traditional, in my opinion, healthy pullback. That's not just like a quick reversal. It's a few month banger. And, right now we're getting that crazy 2 week pullback. I think we eventually have a 2, 3, 4, 5 month healthier pullback. Again, like we were talking about earlier on the live stream with Nas, I think there's going to be a lot of chop this year as we start, and then finally we make our clear cut direction later in the year. But any chance you get on these bigger plays, in my opinion, Amazon would be great for a pullback. Yeah, right through that area would be sexy. You're muted.
Thank you. I'm a genius. What was the level you liked there? 170?
I like that area. Anywhere into that's fine. Yeah, the old resistance through support. It's not perfect, but I call that a little sandwich area. Right through there would just be
making me hungry. I like it. So I'm also watching this the 50-month moving average, which is the 200-week moving average. That one's sitting neat and tidy right at 180, 182-ish right now. So that's an area where maybe we could undercut that, get into your sandwich zone, then whip back up, and you could buy that reclaim. Or you could just blind buy it here because, hey, it's Amazon. If you want to gamble, I sometimes do that on high quality companies where if it tanks another 5%, I just go, well, I'm annoyed, but I'm just going to ride this out because sometime in the next year I'll be able to sell this for higher. And,
yeah.
I'm not sizing too big, so it's not going to make or break me. So yeah, sizing always key. I'm with you on Amazon. I think that it's also just been not a good mover compared to the other mega caps, which haven't really been the best movers compared to a lot of other shining areas of the market, leading areas. So, I mean, I was kind of drawing this zone out while you were talking. I didn't actually hear your exact level. I knew it was somewhere in this zone. I just figured, hey, I bet if I draw this out, it'll be his zone and it'll also be the 50 fib. It's just like exactly in the middle there. It's not, oh, Steve's some genius. It's literally just like you see this so many times, and even this dummy starts picking up. You can teach an old dog a new trick every once in a while. And these 50% pullbacks Michael mentioned, that's where we caught at SPY before, eventually continuing to drift on down into the end. But there was a couple hours where we held that level admirably. And, it shows that these levels you should have them on your charts. These magical fibs, baby. I think I'm starting to be known as like a fib trader, which I've never really considered myself, but I mean, I do use them very frequently. So I'll take that. I'll take the crown there.
Yeah. I never use them at all, but it's just, I've taught this with the retracement for years. And I just show traders how awesome it is. It's usually around 50, but it's 40 to 60. Somewhere between 40 and 60 is where you're going to get your retracement, your bounce plays. You just use that over and over and over and over and over and over. And that's just where it's going to keep coming. And I've just noticed that I'd just chart it. Like I was just saying there, I just see it and I chart it and I trade it. And then I see it and I've actually ever do the math or put do what you just did, put the fib in there. I'm like, that's 50% or 45% or 60, 50. And that's what I told her. Anywhere between 40 and 60, you're going to see a great retracement there. Most times, especially when the chart's going to build it up. I mean, it'll just be built in perfectly at the chart because there'll be so many traders that throughout the years that used to be around a little bit more back in the day, but another chat room that I was in that they trade the SPY and use fibs. And I would alert a bounce play and they would say, blah, 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 watch for a fib retracement here. And I would say, how funny is that? The chart also shows you old resistance, new support, kind of like that sandwich area I was talking about at that same fib. Why do you think that fib line is there? There's a reason why. These charts are built for a reason. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking for those sexy charts. When they build up, I'm going, hi, my name's Josh Smith. I go by AK-47. Do you want to trade and date together? Oh, muted.
Oh, the curse. I'm so sorry, Josh. I'm ruining the flow here. I'm just hearing him hammering right over my head. Sorry, could you repeat the question?
You're right.
Oh man. So yeah, no, all really good stuff there. I had something to say. I totally forgot it. Forgive me there. Coin though, it's just looking so constructive. We got the little wick back look into that pivot, into that zone, into that sandwich. Oh, what I was gonna say is you were talking about how not a coincidence how these zones line up, these areas of influence line up, and I'll take it a little bit further. I got my fundamental trader bros in my server, and you know what? It's crazy how often we arrive at the same valuation, and I'm not reading a single fundamental report, and they're not looking at any of the indicators I'm looking at to arrive there. So it's just I think that it's kind of in this complex machine of a market. It's kind of like in the same way that price will magnet to a level, will gravitate to a level, I feel like markets gravitate towards coherence, towards like an agreement between the bulls and the bears. And when you're seeing so many different systems lining up like that, that's coherence in the market of different types of traders all coming together and saying, yeah, well, you look at the mountain from this side, I look at it from this side, but we're both seeing the mountain. We're both thinking it's going up, you know? So it's just, it's fascinating how it works.
Yeah.
That's all I got. It's fascinating.
No, yeah, it's all it is. Yeah, it's crazy when you see that, how everyone lines up together, and that's when you know you have the trade, like all the stars are aligning, so to speak, or however you want to word it. It's funny how I do in Arkansas. Arkansas doesn't get a lot of snow, and so I'll watch it from locally, all the different guys, to then nationally. And when they all, like the one we just had a pretty big winter storm, and they are all pretty much lining up like, hey, you're going to get some dumpage. This is going to be a pretty big guy. And they were right. We got about, 8 to 9 inches. Our drifts got up to like 18 inches high, in areas where that wind would kind of blow it up, and it would kind of build up into those little drift areas, like up against the house, and stuff. So they were right. But it's those years where you're like, yeah, they say this, and now they're kind of saying that. Then I'm like, yeah, they're not all agreeing. We're not getting shit. It ain't happening. Yeah. When they're all like, yep, it's going to be 6+. Yep, it's going to be 6+. Yep, it's going to be 6+. Yep, it's going to be, okay, we're probably going to get 6+. They're all saying we are. So yeah, that's why I use that even to the weather analogy. Like when they're all the stars are aligning, they're all saying the same thing. We're probably going to get it. But when they're little there, these little there, and they're a little undecided, like, yeah, who knows what we're going to get? Could be snow, could be sleet, could be nothing in the end. Like the point being, that happened like 3 years ago. Luckily, we've been getting snow almost every year. And it happened. We got a little bit a couple years. I think what year it was now, 23, 24. But they were doing another one of those. Oh, it's going to be. Some had 3 to 6. Some had 1 to 3. They were all over the place. And I was like, no, it's going to be a big one. I didn't know this trend yet. And I was like, they're all over everyone had a little bit, and we barely got anything. I was like, oh, them lying, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh no, Josh, because some people said this, some said that. And I noticed they weren't all together. So they were a little undecided. And I've noticed years where they're all on the same page. And I'm like, yeah, and it's happened actually the last 2 years. Last year we got about 9 inches. And then this year we got about 8 inches, so they were, and that's same thing with the stock market. I say that when you have double, triple whammies, so you have, again, for small caps, trend lines, VWAPs are a little bit more important than they are in large caps or even other sectors. But say you have a trend line and a VWAP lining up together, and a play's been bouncing on both of them for, let's say, 30, 45 minutes. And now all of a sudden it's coming down to the 9 EMA. So it's about to crack the 9 EMA, about to crack the trend line, about to crack the VWAP all at the same time. Well, what do you think is probably going to happen? It's probably going to get a good sized pullback. It's about to crack a lot of support. All the stars were aligning, and that's the stuff I'm looking for.
No, I love it. I love it. So we're basically using the market as like an aggregation of educated professionals, because that's who's primarily trading these educated professionals, trading something they know about. So we are aggregating like that. And, I kind of call it's like the Colgate guarantee. I'm looking for that 4 out of 5 dentists agree, like that kind of thing where, if we have that consensus, then there's a lot more to go on. And it's just, confluence in general. So always stack the odds in your favor.
Yep. 100%. Always do that. Odds in your favor forever, or whatever, forever odds, whatever it is.
Something like that. Yeah. Some Star Wars type stuff.
Joe, thank you. Michael, almost keep wanting to call you Michael Phelps, but Michael for coming over. Of course, my boy. We had Kevin Avery in the chat, Air Trader today. Michelle coming on over. Thank you guys. CGK, Tyler coming on over this afternoon. Tack, of course, chatting it up. Crow in here earlier. Death God. That sounds like his like PlayStation handle name. Death God.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I'm here for it. I still rock my PlayStation handle too.
Oh yeah, love it. That's the old school days. Yeah, for sure. So I appreciate all you guys coming on over.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've had a good time. Always do with you. Always do with everybody who comes on. We got a good crew here. So thank you guys. Any closing words here, Josh?
Well, we're already halfway through this month. So, I think we're getting close to getting through most of these big earnings. So it's been fun doing this. And yeah, man, I can't wait. March Madness, was brought up earlier about, of course, we talked about DraftKings. So got some more challenges, of course, the rest of this month. Take advantage of the challenges that we're doing daily. Of course, with the closing of the price of these tickers to next month, we got the March Madness going on. So I can't wait to get that going. I know me, Joe, and the team are trying to get that rocking and rolling. So we'll have that figured out soon. Joe putting the links out there, which I love. Appreciate that. Trade the pool. And yeah, man, get ready for a good weekend. And that's one thing I think we've talked about too. I forgot to bring up at the meeting. This week we brought up what I wanted to talk about. If you remember last week, I said, we got to bring up the March Madness thing on Monday's meeting, which that already was, you could tell in full-fledged that they were going to do something. And so the next meeting, need to get a Friday stream going, because I know Kevin Avery, even Gil here recently. When I brought that up one night on the Discord, not the Discord, but the WhatsApp group that we're always in, I was like, well, Gil was like, y'all want to go tomorrow? I was like, well, let's think about this, get some time ahead. When I left out, she was like, shoot, go ahead, y'all can just go live tomorrow. So that's something we're looking forward to as well, guys out there listening. For anyone on Trade the Pool, we'll have a Friday stream going too as well. So we got pre-market with scanners going live all day long. Steve here always closing out the day in Power Hour, and of course after hours. And we'll look to see if we can add a Friday. So we got you guys Monday through Friday glued to the screen here on Trade the Pool. So appreciate you guys coming over. Have a great, safe, blessed, food-filled weekend. See you on 2 for Tuesday. That's right, Taco Tuesday, because we are closed on Monday on an observance of President's Day. So enjoy your Monday off. Get your extra little day of rest. It's going to be gorgeous here where I'm at, so I'm going to have some fun in the beautiful weather outside. And what about you, Steve? Super Bowl's over with, so no big sports action, at least this weekend. I don't really know. I think maybe the NBA All-Star weekend's this week. I don't know. But I'm sported out. I'm going to relax this weekend, enjoy the 3-day weekend to rest this brain of mine and these eyes. Like you kind of get to the end of the week sometimes you're just like discombobulating, like I just need a day off and just recharge the brain.
I'm with you, brother. Yeah, no big sports here. I think we got some rain due, so I'm planning on catching up on some reading and doing some stretching. I've been having too much desk time here, so I'm gonna take care of myself for once, and then we're gonna hit it hard Tuesday. It's gonna be good. We're gonna make
Love it.
Thank you so
Michael
much.
says NASCAR, the Daytona, or we had Daytona 500. I'm not a big laps guy. I like tracks. I'm big into F1. I think we've already talked about that plenty of times. I like to go fast, but I just don't want to do it in circles all day long. I don't know. I'm just not a big
left turn. What's next? Another left turn. Whoa.
I like but I like going fast. So that's huge. Starting off the NASCAR racing season, some Daytona, the loud engines. I've luckily being a DFW got to go to one of the races out there. NASCAR, bro. That is one thing about NASCAR on TV. No offense, a little boring, bro. In person, NASCAR is so exhilarating.
Yeah,
because I got front row seats. I had to, and it's just when they come by, I'm getting goosebumps now, and I'm sure Michael loves it, bro. It's just. You're just like, oh my God, that was awesome.
I would totally be the guy who's like, this seems silly, this seems dumb, and then I'd get there and I'd be so pumped. So
yes, and how loud it is. So it changes once you're there. It's kind of one of those things, and it's like golf to me. Golf on TV, man. Unless Tiger, I love watching Tiger, but it's kind of man. But boy, you get out there, have your beer, and enjoy the time with the boys. Next thing you know, it's a good time. So it's a little different. And personally, I love racing. I like racing too. Exactly, Mike. I'll do too. That's why, which of course Steve even talked about. No wonder you love trading small caps, because I like to go fast, just like Ricky Bobby. Have a great weekend, Steve, and all you guys out there. Thanks for joining today.
Thanks, guys. Take care now.